Welcome back to the shop. I'm Dave, and this week I'm working on the hardtop, my 52 Dodge M37. So last week I put in these windshields, put new seals in them, and then later on I ended up hoisting this hardtop up into the ceiling so I could get it on top of this truck. Now this week I have to look at some of this rust and repair that, as well as lengthen the hardtop, the 8 inches that I extended it a couple of months prior, and get that to fit squarely on top of this truck. So let me get this down out of the ceiling, truck pulled out, and I'll get to work at it. Well, if you ever wanted a lesson on how to take 3 light bulbs out in less than 5 minutes, that's your how-to. I gotta figure out a better idea putting these up. I'll have to recess the ceiling and tray it out for this truck just to fit in, and probably heighten the garage door. But that'll happen later on, I think. You know, when I got a truck to do truck stuff with, like go get lumber. All right, so I got the hardtop on this on the stand here, and I'm just assessing the scope of this project. Looks like I might be able to do this all in one shot with a piece of steel, and then I don't know, do some more digging. This corner might be a little bit of a task trying to get the same profile out. We'll see. Yeah. And then it looks like down here there's 2 pieces, maybe they were laminated. I'll have to do some investigative archaeology and see what that's gonna need to get fixed up. So here's a better angle of what I'm working with. I got the back rear window here. This is where the slider goes. The attach just on the outside. This is the slider, and they just attach on top of those rails right here. And then this channel, from best I can gather, is just a rain channel. It's boxed on this end. And it's also boxed on that end. I don't know where the rain would go, but I got an idea that's where it left. And I'm guessing that's where it probably spilled out. And this lamination I was talking about earlier, looks like this part that grabs a hold of the cab is one part, and then I'm going to split this shell off of this, and then clean this up and weld new sheet metal to the back of this guide, I guess, where the weather stripping used to sit years ago. As they say, there's more than one way to skin a cab. Maybe it's cat. Cab, cat. You're kidding me. I was just moving this ladder and I knocked another one off. Alright, so this side went easy enough. I just curled this in, matched the profile of the cab hardtop, and then I welded it all in. Now I did try to do the same for the other side here, and what's happened is this B pillar is wiggly, and there's probably really no frame of reference to show you how much that it deflects, but it deflects the whole thing. So what I'm going to have to do is rebuild a lot of this structure here and make sure that it does the same profile as the back of the cab. So that means I'm going to have to put this hardtop back on top of the cab, but it won't fit because it still needs the 8-inch extension between here and the back. My initial thought was I'll repair all the metal behind here and then cut it and then put the additional sheet metal in, and then you're all set. So next I'm going to tape off where I'm going to slice this cab and section it in half, cut it, put it back on the truck, weld some supports, and then finish up this profile so it all fits on without any troubles. Alright, so here's my cut line. It's just behind the B pillar and also just misses this rain drip edge. And then, if there's no camera lens distortion, it'll go straight across the top of this and back down the other side. I'd say I hope this works, but it's gotta. And then there were two. All right, now let's get these mocked up on top of the truck. Got the hard top on, or hard tops. They're spaced 8 inches apart there, and it's we got it lined up all the way through. And I should make sure that everything's gonna line up straight, so I'm gonna put the seats in. That way the windshield or the windows will line up, and then that way if I need to twist something, make sure everything's straight, and we'll... Not the seats, dummy, the doors. The doors. Looks like the gap there is from the door. The window is actually not straight coming up off the regulator, so I'll have to adjust that, but it looks like it mostly sits straight up in this gap. I'll feather it a little bit. All right, so now that I got the doors in, you can see how much room for activities there's gonna be. And while I got the hardtop on here, I'm making a couple measurements, like 67 inches across here, and also I'm copying this profile around here because I'll have to extend this, but I'll have to replace a good portion of all this that's no good. And I'll build up a couple of these supports from the top, the one in the middle here, and the one on the other side. Also, this passenger side B pillar has been giving me some trouble where the post of the hardtop goes down into the cab itself. I think that it's probably had something fall on it. As you can see, the support up here is bent and kind of twisted. Anyways, that's going to take some straightening out too. Okay, and that's the extension on it. Got a little gap here where I didn't measure quite properly. I'll have to fill it in with a little piece. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It's fairly straight. And jeez. So I'm happy it came off as easy as it did this time. It certainly didn't come off that easy the 3 or 4 times I tried before. Right after I sectioned it, cut it in half, the part that had the B-pillar, there was no support there. It had actually like tin can when I tried to lift it off the roof. So that's why I had to do all the welding while it was on the truck, and it's hot up there, and it just took a long time. So now I got her on the ground, a little bit of a breeze today. I'm gonna finish welding all these panels in, and then I'm gonna start with some body fill and go on with all that. So I fought with getting the adhesive off underneath here that held on the headliner, and I was able to get it off the heat gun, but it left that adhesive like residue. I was able to get that off with some lacquer thinner and a lot of scraping, but then I was worried that since it exposed some metal, that I went ahead and I gave it some coats of enamel, and you don't gotta worry about the color. This is all gonna get covered with some sound deadening material. I got some Dynamat on hand, and the parts that I might miss, I went ahead and boarded them in black. It's my intention to put Dynamat on the back too, but I probably won't be able to cover, nor want to cover these holes. Anyways, next flipping it over, putting some fill on it, getting it sanded down, maybe some of the extra paint pulled off it. We'll go from there. Geez, where'd the time go? It's probably been about 3 weeks since I've last put out a video, and you're probably wondering, man, Dave's really taking a long time getting that hardtop done. The truth is, it's been a little while. Things have been a little busy. Been in the hospital with my wife. We've had our firstborn son here, and things have been going a little slower. So mom and baby are really good, doing well, and I'm able to get out here when I can, with as much energy as I can, and just getting this hardtop done. If I thought I was busy before, I'm definitely busy now. So I might have been a little stunned getting camera angles set up, but the long and the short of it here is this was all rotted out, and then I've extended this cab out 8 inches, filled her all in, got the curvature on the top of this to line up. The big idea behind that is people who know the M37 might have to look twice at it. But you can't get anything done when you're sitting on your hands, so let's get to her. Alright, got her painted. It's looking pretty good. Now let's get her on this truck. Alright, it's on. So it took me a little bit to get in here. What I did is I put some new weather stripping or just a little gasket material in between these two. Made it a little tighter to get in. And then I put a little seam sealer in between where the windshield frame meets the hardtop. So then we go inside. I've been climbing inside and out of it. That's why it's a little dusty. Anyways, when you're inside of it, bit more space back here, space for the seats to recline, and you can see the weather stripping back there. And then what I'm gonna do is put some Dynamat, I mentioned that earlier, up top there, and then probably just for ease of working in here because it is quite dark, I'll probably put some overhead lighting up there so I can see what I'm doing when I'm working away in here. Because it's safe to say I'll be spending a fair bit of time in here. I still gotta put a dash in and all the seals around the doors and all that stuff. So next I gotta figure out if I can sneak this thing out underneath this door. I'm gonna start with taking the air pressure out of these tires, hopefully not take them off the beads, and see if I can drop the overall height of this truck just enough so I can get her out through the garage door. Well, geez, talk about a tight fit we got here. I did manage to get her out. Well, you know that saying, it's better to be lucky than be good? Well, it goes without saying. I got away with it. So I was able to take the valve stems out of these tires, take a little wind out of them, and that dropped the whole truck down from, I was measuring from the bottom of this fender, which is 22 inches above the ground, and I was able to drop that to 19. When they're completely flat, they drop down to about 17 inches, but I didn't want to risk debeating the rim. That would give me a whole bunch more problems to deal with. So I put a little air in them. There's probably maybe 5 pounds in these tires, front and back. But that was just enough to get me out through that door. Jeez, that was close. Anyways, here's what the hardtop looks like. Just got the extension back there. Got a little paint on her. If I hold the phone right up high, you can probably see up top. Goes around the back. But I think it looks pretty good. Next time I'm going to tackle these doors and get them all overhauled and new seals in them and all that fun stuff. But I'm gonna leave it for there for today, and I'll slide this thing right back in where it came from, and see you guys in the next one.